Happy full moon in Capricorn. Welcome back to your monthly collective reading where we are going to be looking at this full moon in Capricorn. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Naomi. I am an intuitive channel, an energy healer, an earth steward, and a farmer. And so each month I like to work with the new moon and the full moon energies. So I do a collective reading while I see 111 on my clock over here, which has the wrong time because time does not be existent over here. Okay, cosmic time is the time I abide by the most. So like the moon cycles, I was literally just saying this, like I can only deal with time on like a moon cycle level. Like once it gets into like hours and days, like oh my goodness, it's so much for me. But yeah, so I consistently and intentionally work with the moon cycles. Each moon, the full moon and the new moon, I do readings that are personal for myself, and I have began channeling messages for myself, channeling specific spreads that are like in accordance with the moon signs, and yeah, I decided to start sharing those same channel spreads that I do with the collective. So yeah, for this collective reading, and all of my collective new moon and full moon readings, I have a channeled spread. And so this deals with specifically full moon in Capricorn because at this full moon in Capricorn, we are officially into Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograding through Cancer right now. So if that like isn't telling you what was coming next, like especially with this full moon in Capricorn energy, as I was kind of like tuning into it, because when I think of Capricorn, because Capricorn is a cardinal sign, right? Capricorn is the sign that is here to initiate the work, right? Because the cardinal signs, they begin things. They're the leaders. They're the initiators, right? And so Capricorn could initiate you into work, right? So there can be a lot of those energies revolving your work, your career, how much time, like literally it could be like working out. How much time are you giving to yourself? How much time are you working on yourself, your goals? Where are you trying to get to, right? That's kind of like what I see as Capricorn energy to me. We also know that Capricorn is the energy of Saturn. So Capricorn is also the energy of reaping and harvesting, sowing and harvesting, right? Yeah, because reaping and harvesting is the same thing. But we may be harvesting a lot at this time, right? And especially as this Capricorn is coming right after, give me a moment, son. Especially since this Capricorn energy is coming right after the summer solstice. Summer solstice was 1 week ago now, right? So we were at this changing of the seasons, going from, we had the longest day, and now from now until winter solstice, we're going to be losing some of that daylight. We're going to be returning back to the darker days, right? We've hit this peak, right? So there could be a peak that you're experiencing. And especially with Mercury retrograde, there could be this energy, and it's kind of conflicting to me now as I'm kind of getting into it. Because when Mercury retrograde, you kind of want to like slow down a little bit, right? That's the energy of where you want to like be double checking, like you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's. You're making sure that everything is in alignment. But like I said, we've just stepped into the summer energy, right? We're about to be in July, and I think that's like peak summer energy. That's like fire energy. We have this Leo energy, so that's going to be the sun energy, and we're already in the year of number 1, which is ruled by the sun, right? Like this is all these things culminating as Mercury retrograde is beginning, right? So, and of course, we're in fire horse here. So there's so much energy, so much momentum to push us forward, but we want to be very careful as we are sliding into Mercury retrograde, right? Because I think up until maybe like May, we didn't have any planets in retrograde, right? So just things to kind of be aware of. I just like to always kind of give where we are cosmically, okay? And so if you didn't know, I also be doing elemental readings. So You could check out your placements for fire sign, water sign, earth sign, and air signs. Yeah, make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you give me a like, comment, and subscribe because I am growing my channel. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, I have a channel spread. It's a 4-card spread for this full moon in Capricorn. We're going to go in with the moonology. We'll get additional clarifying messages with the tarot. Clarify further if we need to. I have my tea leaves, so we could get some tea leaves for the week. And I also have my blessing deck, or not for the week, for the month, for this moon cycle, right? Because the way I look at moon cycles, we're at the full moon. So I go from full moon to full moon. That's a full moon cycle for me. Not saying like a full moon, but yeah, that is a full moon cycle for me. Same as like going from new moon to new moon. So our last full moon was the full moon in Sagittarius. Go ahead and check that out. That was a great collective read. I didn't even get into the tarot. Like, so much came out with the moonology. And so yeah, if something like that happens, then we'll just go with it. But yeah, so my plan is to be able to go with the tarot and get some other clarifying messages. Check out that new moon in Gemini reading I just did for the collective, because yeah, that's going to be valid through the next new moon. So yeah, with all that being said, let's get into this reading for you. So may this message be in your highest and best good. May it be aligning to you on your path. May it be affirming, may it be confirming, and overall helpful and assisting to you. And may I be a clear channel for these divine messages to come through at this time. So it is said, so it is. Ashe. Okay, so for this full moon in Capricorn spread, I have, what is this full moon in Capricorn revealing about your progress towards your goals? What needs to be released now to reach your goals? What is calling for your focus at this time? What will be the results of your diligent work and effort? Okay, so let's get right into it. Thank you, Spirit. So can I please have a card for the collective? What is the full moon in Capricorn revealing about your progress towards your goals? What is this full moon in Capricorn revealing to you about your progress towards your goals? Believe in the impossible. They say, baby, it's not over yet. Yeah, because I was kind of getting to that energy of us being like halfway through the year, right? Yeah, I wanted to talk more about that Capricorn energy and that reaping and sowing energy, because we did begin the year with a new moon in Capricorn. Or was it the full moon in Cancer? I think the new moon in Capricorn was right before the new year, right? So about 6 months ago. What were your ideas that you were planning during Capricorn season, right? That's when we experience New Year. That's when we have all that holiday time, right? What were you saying you wanted to strive towards this year? This would be what you need to be like looking back on. What did you say you wanted to get done this year? What have you gotten done? What more do you still need to do to bring it into fruition? Because all is not lost. You still got 6 months. And that brings me back to the card that came out, which is believe in the impossible, right? So they're like, believe it. So even if you feel like, if you're to look back and you feel like you're falling short on your goals, on the things that you said that you could do, believe in the impossible. And the last full moon that we had, the full moon in Sagittarius, was a blue moon. It was our second full moon that we had in the month of May, which I feel May was like very much like a portal energy, right? Because it had us in this energy of where things could happen. It seemed like if you think this is something that could never happen, as we were in that full moon energy and it's showing up again, so it's saying this energy is still potent for you now, is that impossibilities are possible for you at this time. Now that you know that, how are you going to move forward towards your goals? All these things are still open for you, even if you feel like you dropped the ball the first half of this year, right? And I was just saying, like, this is why we read The Alchemist. You read The Alchemist when life doesn't seem to be panning out in the way that you imagined it, right? That you thought it needed to go, right? Because things can actually still work out and change and work for you in a moment. In a moment, things could change. Miracles happen. Things can change in a moment, right? So you don't have to sweat the last 6 months that you have, because you still got 6 months to go. And so if you are harnessing this energy, wow, and look at this first quarter moon, because that's where we are, right? 1003 I just seen, which is my angel number for alignment. And so your commitment being tested this half moon, you're halfway there. Don't give up. Continue to believe in the impossible, okay? You got this. All is not lost. You still have options. There is still opportunities. There are still blessings to be had. There's still work to be done. There's still things to be seen, okay? So this is not a time to even think about giving up. You actually need to get a little bit even more delusional in the things you want to see come into fruition. Visualize at this time. I've been working heavy with the law of visualization. I've been working heavy with the law of visualization. I've been working heavy with the law of assumption. So I've been working with my universal laws since last month, very heavy, right? And so maybe that's something you want to be looking into. How can you use these energies, right, that are congruent with the universe, right, that are in alignment with the universe, these energies that are ever accessible for you, right? This is why I do these readings at the new moon and the full moon. This is cosmic energy that is coming in to help align us on our path, on our destiny, on the fruition of our manifestations, of the accomplishment of our goals, right? Work with this energy. This energy is here to help you. So maybe you feel like you could not do it on your own, but if you got the sun, the moon, the earth, not to mention God, your angels, your guides, your ancestors helping you, if you thought it was impossible for you, if you have all the help of the cosmos, babe, it gets a little bit more possible, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm seeing. But yeah, so let's see. Thank you, Spirit. Can I please have a card for what needs to be released now to reach your goals or desired destination? What needs to be released now to reach your goals / your desired destination? What needs to be released now? The answers you need are coming. So I'm getting two things with this. Like, if you've been kind of like, if you've been kind of, I'm like, maybe that's that Mercury retrograde energy. If you've kind of been waiting on closure or a conversation, like you've been feeling like you need to receive something for somebody else to be able to move on, to be able to let something go, to be able to get like whatever it is that you're telling yourself, that's what needs to be released, right? The other thing could be that there is this conversation that you need to have, that you need to express yourself. 1, 2, 3, I'm seeing. All in alignment, right? All in divine timing, right? So there may be something that needs to be said to you, something that you need to say to another, right? That needs to be released off your chest. Something that needs to be expressed so it can be released and let go of, right? You may have been holding your tongue about something, right? There could be this energy that's left over from Gemini season. We'll see what the clarification has to say. Yeah. So either you need to speak on something, or you need to like be able to like, even if you can't say it to the other person, maybe writing like a release letter, like just writing it all out, burning it, allowing it to let go. Look at the bigger picture here. There's something more to be seen. Or, yeah, because this is for what needs to be released now. Look at the bigger picture. Is this serving you? Is this serving where you're trying to get to? Is this serving you? And so maybe there needs to be some questions that you're asking yourself, and the answers are going to be plain as day. That, oh, this thing is not serving me. Yeah. Okay, so part of the answers that you need are coming. It's going to be very clear, because if you weren't picking up on it, because, you know, Spirit can just start as a little You know, it could start as a little whisper, a little tap, like a little nudge. And then sometimes when you're not listening, it can get louder and louder, right? So I'm getting, if you have not been listening to your intuition, something that you kind of already know, right? This is Gemini energy. You kind of already have a sense of something. It's going to become very clear for you. And you're going to be like, I have no choice but to release this at this point. Okay, thank you, Spirit. But we'll see what the clarification says. Can I please have a card for the collective for what is calling for their focus at this time of the full moon in Capricorn? What is calling for your focus at the time of this full moon in Capricorn? A lot came out. Expect powerful change. I can see. Oh. We're going to do it again. If it wants to come back out, it could come back out. Please have a card for what is calling for your focus at this time in this full moon in Capricorn. What is calling for the collective's focus at the time of this full moon in Capricorn? Your commitment is being tested. Came back out. So your commitment to your goals, your commitment to your work, your commitment to yourself is being tested at this time, and you need to focus so you can pass this test. You need to focus so you can pass this test. Yeah, believe in the impossible, and maybe some of the answers that you need that are coming is going to help you believe a little bit more in the impossible. It's going to help you continue to move forward where you're trying to get to. Your dreams need a practical plan, and this energy, it talks about having that balance between belief, right? Believe in the impossible, and also the practical work. That's why we're here at this full moon in Capricorn. Capricorn likes practicality. It's an earth sign like Taurus, right? It likes things to be here in the physical, in the tangible, right? What is physical and what's tangible, but why you need a balance of both, because everything that is tangible in this reality first came as a thought, right? Someone had to believe their thought, what they saw, what they envisioned, enough to want to take the steps to bring it into fruition. Your commitment is being tested. Can you dream? And can you take the necessary steps to fulfill, to realize that dream? And maybe you have the wherewithal to take the steps and do the things, but are you dreaming? Have you been using all of your practical, your planning, your effort, your work energy into working for others, where it's solely just benefiting others, right? So there's something about the balance, and you're going to know which side that you fall more on. And so you want them both there. You want to be able to put in the effort and the work towards the things that you dream, towards the things that you feel a pull to have in your life, right? It's important to pay attention to the things that you really desire. In The Alchemist, it says, that's one of my favorite books. And I love the spiritual undertones of The Alchemist. But it talks about if you have a true desire that is coming from within your being, it's because this is something the soul of the world wants for you. The universe actually wants this to be felt and expressed through you. It wants this experience through you, right? So you have to heed things like that. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. Can I please have a card for what will be the results of the collective's diligent work and effort at this full moon in Capricorn? What will be the results of your diligent work and effort? What will be the results of your diligent work and effort at this full moon in Capricorn? 3 cards came out. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn, period. So they're by the end of the year, you put in this effort, you put in this work, and I was already seeing, right? I was already seeing, period. Like, your hard work is going to pay off. Bet that. Release the negativity, and that's the answer that you need was coming. Like, part of what you need to release is the negativity around your goals actually coming into fruition. And we also have communication is key. New moon in Gemini, which is what that last new moon was. Yeah, so I'm seeing like a lot of full circle, full cycle energies here that are popping up. Like, I don't know why the last 6 months have been significant and the next 6 months are going to be significant. Like, it's a cycle that you need to be working through. But the results of your effort is everything is going to pay off. It's time to release negativity because your communication is key, right? Whether this is what you're saying aloud or whether this is what you're telling yourself, what stories are running. You need to be very aware of how you're speaking to yourself, of how you're speaking about the situations. You know, this is why we meditate, right? Or this is why some people meditate. This is why I meditate. Or I'm like, because this is just something you learn through meditation, is what I say, what I could say. Is to be able to catch like those voices, those infiltrators, those negative thoughts that are telling you things that are not true, right? I was talking about the law of assumption. And what I realized with the law of assumption, like, because we assume all the time. We assume all the time, and most of the time, just because of certain programming, we are assuming the negative. If we're going to assume the negative with like no proof, we might as well just assume the positive with no proof. Like, we might as well just assume the positive, right? And believe that. And allow that to come into fruition. So your hard work is going to pay off, especially when the work that you're doing is around the things that you're speaking. What are you speaking over yourself? What are you speaking over others? One of the my ending rituals at the end of my yoga practice, you know, I have my prayer hands, and I go to my forehead and my mouth, and I go to my heart, and there's different things I speak over each place. But at my mouth, I say, you know, high vibrational words, right? What am I speaking? What blessings am I speaking over myself and others? You know, what spells am I speaking over myself? And these are things that I just want to be aware of on a daily, right? Because when you speak, we have power. There is power in the tongue, right? So we want to make sure we're speaking positively, that we're speaking in a way that is uplifting to yourself and to others, because that hard work is going to pay off. Because the more you start speaking good, well, that's what comes into fruition, right? And that's part of believing in the impossible and like allowing your dreams to have a practical plan. Yeah, so let's get the clarification. Thank you, Spirit. Can I please have a card for the collective? What is this full moon in Capricorn revealing about your progress towards your goals at this full moon in Capricorn? For the collective, what is the full moon in Capricorn revealing about the progress towards their goals? What is the full moon in Capricorn revealing about the progress toward their goals? I'm like, it's literally just so much. You know, it's like 6 cards. What is this full moon in Capricorn revealing about the collective's progress towards their goals? The Page of Cups and the Five of Pentacles fell out in reverse. And so I love to see the Five of Pentacles in reverse, right? But also with the Page of Cups I got, it's like you're not playing small anymore. You're not coming to play. You're not coming to play. Look who's not coming to play. You're like, oh, I'm not. Yeah. Like, you know what? I'm not just going to be small town wishing and dreaming. Right? Yeah. With this fight, like, you're like, I'm not going to feel trapped in old situations. I'm not going to think that I have no control over my circumstances, that I have no power here. You're no longer playing it small. Yeah. So what it's revealing for you is that, like, you'll never go back to the Five of Pentacles, right? Because when we have a card in reverse, that means it was always upright, or it began upright before it's reversed, right? So it's like you're coming out of this Five of Pentacles energy because you know that there's something more than this. You're believing in it and you're going for it, right? Not playing small. You're not going to listen to the naysayers. You're not going to, you're not going for that no more. Yeah, you're being revealed. It's being revealed to you that you can have exactly what you desire here. You can have exactly what you desire here. And, like, you're going to be given an opportunity that proves it. And I said that you could be getting, like, part of the answers you need would help you be able to move forward in that right? And so with the Six of Wands energy, son, you know you didn't need to go through there. Don't do that, please. And make sure you close your bedroom door. And so, yeah, this Ace of Wands to the Six of Wands energy, it's like, yeah, you can actually reach where you want to go. Especially with this King of Wands energy. Because the King of Wands is confident in his ability, right? He's confident in his ability. He's able to bring things into fruition. He makes it. I'm like, so you get crowned king. So you are on the right track. Even if it's felt slow moving, even if you feel like you've missed out on certain opportunities, or, like, you know, you may have invested in the wrong things in the past, believe that everything can change, and it will change for you. And I already see that circumstances are changing. They're not what they once were, right? There's new opportunities, new beginnings, new starts that can still happen right now that could change your life. Like, don't you know this opportunity can change your life? Don't you know? Like, that's how God works. That's how the universe works. If you can assume it, are you going to align to it? Yeah, because it's like, boom. You decide that you're not going to be in that energy anymore. Boom, you get the right opportunity, and boom, you get exactly where you want to get to. Right? I see that. So believe in the impossible. Believe that this impossible opportunity can come out the clouds and bonk you on the head. Okay? It's going to come for you. Believe in it. Thank you, Spirit. Can I please have additional clarifying message for the collective for what needs to be released now to reach your goals or your desired destination at this full moon in Capricorn? What does the collective need to release now to reach their desired goals and destinations? What needs to be released now to reach their goals and desired destination at this full moon in Capricorn? The Eight of Wands popped out. I see the Hierophant, the Empress, the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I got originally something about speed here. But yeah, this is also like heavy. The answers you need are coming. So something's going to be coming in. And I was saying that it's going to be clear for you exactly what needs to go. It's like assessment was done, like an audit was done. It's like the results are going to come in. It's going to be like, oh, okay, this is exactly the problem. Yeah, something that was slowing you down, because the Eight of Wands is a very speedy energy. So it's like once this is released, you get there very fast. The answers you need are coming. The Hierophant has the answer. The Hierophant knows the answer. Taurus energy, heavy Taurus energy with the Empress underneath. And then I see the Three of Wands, the Emperor. I guess you're going to know. You're going to find out. If you don't know, you will be finding out exactly what needs to be released soon. And maybe it is some type of communication. Whether this is communication you're giving or receiving, but heavy on the communication. But this communication is like, it's good. You are waiting on this with this Three of Wands energy. Yeah, and I was saying that you could be receiving something that like helps you believe even more in the impossible, that these things could change. Right? Because we were seeing an Ace of Wands and now we're seeing an Eight of Wands. It's like boom, boom, boom. Opportunities, opportunities, blessings, help, assistance. Right? A total like switch. The answers you need are coming and you'll be able to make the right decision. Because with this Hierophant and the Empress here, these are two very wise beings, right? Not only are you going to know more, but you're also going to be able to grow more. But you've been waiting. Yeah, so this could have been something you've been waiting on with this Three of Wands. Or maybe you need to start waiting to be in your power. That could be something. Because you're already there. And I was already feeling energy, like, personally, I was feeling that energy around this full moon in Capricorn and about the work that is calling for you, calling for me to step into. And I was like picking up like, you know, this energy of readiness, right? Of you like wanting to be ready, right? So maybe it's something you feel like you haven't been ready for, but it's like the time is here, you're ready. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Can I please have additional and clarifying message for what is calling for the collective's focus at this time? Look at that. Look who came back out. That Ace of Wands, Six of Wands, your commitment is being tested. Are you going to go forward on your goals? Do you really want to realize your goals? Do you really want this notoriety? Do you really want success? Do you really want this victory? Do you really believe that opportunities can come up out the air? You know, sometimes you just have to take those steps forward. And I was just talking about like readiness. Sometimes you just have to move forward without fully be able to see in the next opportunity. But knowing it's there, taking those steps, because we had seen that your dreams need a practical plan here, right? And it was that energy of belief and also being able to move forward towards where you're being called to go, doing the things that you need to do to get the thing that you desire. And so, yeah, with your commitment being tested, this Ace of Wands, this Six of Wands here, is like maybe sometimes you just have to take that next step forward and then the path will reveal itself. Then the assistance will reveal itself, but you have to get in motion. You have to keep going. You have to continue on because I see that the success is here. So your commitment is being tested. Can you persevere? Can you continue to strive towards what you wish to accomplish? We have heavy fire sign energy here. Wow. King of Wands back on the bottom of the deck. Ten of Pentacles. The King of Wands knows that he can get the Ten of Pentacles, right? That he can receive his due. And so that's why he's able to move in that energy. Yeah, I love to see it. Thank you, Spirit. Can I please have additional clarifying message for what will be the result of the diligent work and effort? Like, that's kind of a lot. What will be the results of the collective's diligent work and effort at this full moon? I saw the sun. What will be the results of your diligent work and effort at this full moon in Capricorn? Page of Wands. New opportunity come out. Two of Swords in reverse. You get unstuck. Three of Cups. You're going to be celebrating. You're going to have a lot to celebrate. Yeah. So whatever you hear, yeah, there's so much Wands energy. I'm like, but I was already talking about that fire energy. So by the time we get into Leo season, by the end of the month, by the end or mid-July, right? You're going to have some type of news. You're going to have some type of new opportunity. You're going to hear exactly how your hard work has paid off, but it's going to unstick you. Like if you've been feeling paused, if you've been feeling like things have just not been unclear. So yeah, maybe there were certain answers you needed. Maybe like, I don't know, I'm getting like maybe you applied for school and you had to, wait to hear back, or you applied for something, you've been waiting to hear back. Maybe you've been trying to do something. It's like, but something has like had you paused with that Two of Swords in reverse, but the Page of Wands comes and like gives you the information that you need, and it ends up clearing it, opening it up. It helps you to move forward, whatever this is. So if you have been waiting on some type of news of some type of certain movement of something to change, please stop it. If you've been waiting for something to change, that is coming in, and it is going to assist you in the way that you need. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. I see it's going to be much to celebrate. Much to celebrate. Wow. Wow. Much to celebrate after like some things took its time. I see the Four of Swords here. Three of Cups, Four of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Empress back. You're moving towards your happiness. You're moving towards your desired goals. You're moving towards your power. Yeah, that's what I see. And on the pre-shuffle, the bottom of my Old Southern deck, we have the Holler card, which is communication, honesty, courage, sharing, revelation, surprise news, text, phone call. So this can be heavy dependent on something that you hear, some type of communication. I'm seeing that very heavily. Very heavily. Yeah, actually so much. So believe in the impossible. Something is going to work out for you here. Something is possible for you. Continue to persevere. You're going to soon receive some type of notification, information, message that will help you be able to recommit to your goals, to recommit to something that you were beginning at the start of the year. And so you can see it through to fruition at the end of the year. Okay? Period. So shout out to you. Let's see what your tea leaves are. So tea leaves for the collective. Tea leaves for the collective for this full moon in Capricorn. And like a whole bunch just popped out. So we're just going to take those. Any other tea leaves for the collective? Tea leaves for the collective. Okay. I see leg. Stepping into a new experience. So you're going to be doing something new soon. Moving in a new direction. Claw. Be careful. Do not take risks. And that came over here with your commitment is being tested, where we saw that your dreams need a practical plan. So don't just do anything all willy-nilly, right? Still plan. Still be able to work with these cosmic universal energies that are rooting for you, that are conspiring for you, but still ensure that you're taking the right steps, right? As I'm looking at this leg card. Feather, someone you know is undependable and insincere, right? And maybe that could have been this Page of Cups energy in reverse. Someone younger than you, someone who was kind of immature, and that kind of had you in a Five of Pentacles energy, but we already see that you're moving out of that. So you have Owl, good advice from a wise person. So you're going to be getting good advice here, and that's over here with this Eight of Wands. The answers you need are coming. So you're going to receive some type of insight. Broom, new home, new attitude. And we already see you're stepping into a new experience. You're stepping into a new experience, a new life, right? A new way of thinking. Yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. Yeah, that Two of Swords energy, right? Like you have been feeling stuck. But the answers that you need are coming, and that's how you're going to be able to move. I told you it's going to be able to move. Seahorse, family matters. So this could have been a family situation that you've been waiting to hear on. Well, family wishes coming true. So definitely something heavily here with the family, especially as we are in Cancer season. But we see that a wish is going to come true here. Lobster, financial pinch. And then we see Parrot. Someone will gossip about all of your secrets. So just be aware of that. We did have a lot of Mercury energy here. We had a lot of Gemini energy. We had this Eight of Wands. We see a lot of communication, things that are being said, right? But at the end of the day, continue to believe in the impossible. Recommit to achieving your goals, to getting where you desire to get to, and you'll get there. Period. Sun, please close your door. And we're going to get the blessing for you. A blessing for the collective at this full moon in Capricorn. Can I have a blessing for the collective? What is the collective's blessing at this full moon in Capricorn? This is your blessing card. Take it in for a moment. It says the Namaste blessing, and this is my Namaste deck. The divine in me acknowledges the divine in you. I bow to you and honor your inner light of pure and unconditional love. Eternal peace be with you. Eternal love be with you. Eternal joy be with you through this serendipitous blessing. Okay? So you are a divine being, and there is your blessing. And then we also have this blessing on the bottom of the deck. I love this card so much. Green is one of my favorite colors. A blessing of acceptance. Every part of you is equally worthy of love. Accept yourself as you are, and this will be a blessing unto yourself and others. If you wish to see the truth of the matter, hold no preference, either for or against a particular matter. Just be the love that you truly are. So accept things, right? And that's kind of like the Namaste blessing, right? So that is what I am seeing for the full moon in Capricorn. Make sure you give me a like, a comment, and subscribe. I very much appreciate you for sticking with me, for watching my videos, for liking my videos, and for subscribing to my channel, especially as I am in the midst of growing my YouTube. So I very much appreciate you. Make sure you check back in for your elemental readings. Yeah, check out your elemental readings. Go back and watch the new moon in Gemini. If you feel called, you can watch the full moon in Sagittarius so you can get a full picture of this full moon cycle that you've been on. But yeah, so here's to hoping that your goals come into fruition. Stay with it. Okay.